दोस्तों स्वागत है आप सभी का हमारे YouTube चैनल मैथमेटिकल पाठशाला में। अभी तक हम लोगों ने फील्ड थ्योरी में बेसिक फील्ड थ्योरी देखी है, फील्ड एक्सटेंशन देखा, कुछ स्पेशल टाइप ऑफ एक्सटेंशन देखे, सेपरेबल एक्सटेंशन, अलजेब्रिक एक्सटेंशन, एंड उसके बाद हम लोगों ने कुछ बेसिक थ्योरी पढ़ी थी साइक्लोटोमिक पॉलिनोमियल से रिलेटेड। देन वी केम टू द गैल्वा थ्योरी, एंड गैल्वा थ्योरी के जितने बेसिक पार्ट्स हैं वो हम लोगों ने कवर कर लिए, तो वो आपके एग्जाम पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से मोर देन सफिशिएंट है। बट अभी तक हम लोगों ने फाइनाइट फील्ड के बारे में ज़्यादा डिस्कस नहीं करा। सो इन दिस लेक्चर वी विल डिस्कस होल थ्योरी ऑफ फाइनाइट फील्ड्स इन दिस लेक्चर ऑफ, और इफ इट इज़ रिक्वायर्ड देन वी विल make another lecture on this. Suppose we already know there exists a field with p elements that you can do z by pz where p is a prime. So we know one thing, we are aware of this field z by pz, and let me call this as a field with p elements that we already know. But can you give me a field with any finite order? No, you cannot give me, because if I give you any composite order or a number which is divided with two distinct primes, you cannot give me the field with that order, because we know that cardinality of finite field can be p power n for some prime p and natural number n, that we know. The proof is very simple, you can do by using the characteristic, but we have already covered in a linear algebra section, in ring theory section we have already seen. So cardinality of a finite field can be p power n format. But can you give me a field with p power n can you always give me a field with p power n elements? Or suppose if you are able to give me, then how many distinct fields can you give me? Distinct means both are all should be non-isomorphic. Let's try to observe the situation. We have found the splitting fields when characteristic is 0, but now I am discussing, suppose I ask you about this polynomial x power p power n minus x, which is always a special polynomial. So suppose I am asking you to give me the splitting field for this polynomial, but I am not asking over a field with 0 characteristic, I am asking over this fpx field. If you are able to give me this, then everything in finite field will be clear to you. Let me call this as a px polynomial. Suppose I make another structure f, or say this f, say x, such that x to the power pn minus x barabar 0. That means I am collecting all the roots of this polynomial. This polynomial is clearly separable polynomial, because if you see the derivative of this, you will have px power p power n minus 1 minus 1. But since you are in fp, field with p elements, so characteristic is p. So this every multiple of p will be 0. So this is minus 1, which is non-zero in fp. So you can say the primitive is throughout non-zero, or the derivative is throughout non-zero, hence it does not have any repeated roots. So this is a separable polynomial. Once it is a separable polynomial, you can directly say how many elements will be there in capital F. There will be exactly p power n elements. Cardinality of f will be p power n. Now, can you prove this capital F is actually a field, or it is a field containing fp? See how? Let alpha comma beta belongs to this capital F, that I can always choose, because I already know 0 comma 1 are roots of f, that I can see. So this is clear that 0 and 1 both are roots of this equation, so both are member of f. So this is non-empty, I can choose arbitrary elements. Alpha plus beta to the power, say p power n. See, we are dealing with this fp. So over fp, I can surely say this alpha plus beta power pn is same as, or in general, the characteristic of f will be p. I have not told you that this is a field, or I have not proved till now this is a field, but we are working over a field with a p characteristic. So alpha plus beta whole power pn will give me alpha power pn plus beta power pn, that we have seen when our field is of p characteristic. But alpha power pn, alpha is a member of f, beta is a member of f, so both will satisfy this equation, so it will give me alpha plus beta. This implies alpha plus beta is a member of capital F. Similar argument for this, alpha beta p power n. I know that this fp is a commutative and I am collecting all the roots of this. So this will satisfy the commutativity. So it will give me alpha power p power n, beta power p power n, which is again alpha beta, because alpha power pn is same as alpha, beta power pn is same as beta. So this implies your alpha beta belongs to capital F. Let's see alpha inverse whole power pn, but this is same as alpha power pn whole power minus 1, but alpha power pn is same as alpha, so this is alpha inverse. That means alpha is satisfying this equation, so this implies alpha inverse belongs to F. Now this is clear that this F satisfy all the hypotheses of the field. Can you say this is a vector space over Fp? Okay, let's try to show. See, once this thing is clear, this F is a field by these statements, and also the cardinality of is p power n. What can you say about the prime subfield of F? The prime subfield of F has to be Fp, because every field either contains a copy of Fp or contains a copy of rationals. But this is a finite field. It cannot contain a copy of rationals. So it has to contain a copy of Fp as a prime subfield. So this is a vector space over Fp. I will give you more general criteria. Let's suppose you choose any arbitrary element from Fp. Let x be any arbitrary, or say let y be any arbitrary element of this field with p elements. Or suppose you choose any non-zero element, because 0 is already here. So you do not need to check for 0. You choose any non-zero element, which is known as Fp star. But we also know Fp star is a multiplicative group of order p minus 1. So this imply y to the power p minus 1. Okay, 1 second. Y to the power p minus 1 will be equal to 1. So from here you can say that okay, wait for a while, there is no need to check for this, that I'll come to when I'll be proving the uniqueness part. First let me show the existence part. So this F is a field containing an isomorphic copy of Fp. This field is with the p characteristic. This F contains all the roots of this equation, and you cannot construct any smaller structure than F which contains all the roots of this, because cardinality of F is p power n, and this equation has exactly p power n distinct roots. So if you construct any lower structure, that will absolutely lose some of the roots. So the situation you can think in this manner. Suppose this is Fp and here is some splitting field, say E, and this F will be exactly this E, because if you see, suppose if there is any lower structure, suppose you are getting your splitting field here, but that will also contain p power n elements, but it is containing p power n elements, so both has to be same. Or let me give you another argument. A cardinality of this field is p power n. In linear algebra we have seen this is same as cardinality of base field to the power dimension of your vector space. So if you link with this, Fp has p cardinality, so dimension of F is n. So this implies dimension of F over Fp is n. So if you go with the lower structure, you will lose dimension, or you will lose any root of this equation, because it has precisely p power n roots. So this F is the smallest extension of, or the minimal extension of Fp, which contains all the roots. Hence this is the minimal field for this polynomial over Fp. Now once it is the splitting field for this polynomial, I can surely say this F is actually a Galois extension, because if you are working on a splitting field and polynomial is separable, then extension becomes Galois. So this is a Galois extension of f of this the Galois extension for the separable polynomial over the subfield Fp. So you have proved there exists a field with p power n elements, and this contains a copy of Fp, and this is the splitting field of Fx is equal to x power p power n minus x, which is defined over Fpx structure. Now I am asking you again a one question. Suppose this is a splitting field for this polynomial. Now suppose we have any other field with p power n elements. Can you say that field has to be isomorphic to this? See, this is the uniqueness part. Let capital F be any field with p power n elements. See, this is a finite field. Every finite field forms a vector space over its prime subfield. What is the subfield of this F? That has to be Fp, the field with p elements. So this F forms a vector space over its prime subfield, say Fp. But we know that cardinality of a vector space is given by cardinality of its base field to the power dimension, a dimension of F. So this is p power n we have already given. So dimension of this vector space F over Fp has to be n. That means the degree of extension of this has to be n. Now this is n degree extension. Now I want to prove that this F and this capital F both are isomorphic. See how they are isomorphic. I am claiming every element of F is again an element of this F. Then I will show this capital F is a subset of this. Then I will be done. Or if I prove that this capital F is the splitting field for this polynomial, then I am done, because splitting fields are isomorphic up to isomorphism. So there is a unique splitting field for any given polynomial up to isomorphism. If I show that this F is also an splitting field for this polynomial, I am done. Now see, this capital F is of order p power n. Cardinality of F star will be p power n minus 1, and this forms a group. F star forms a group with multiplication, and order of this is p power n minus 1. So you choose any arbitrary element, say let alpha belongs to F minus 0, because 0 is already here. This is a field, so this will contain 0. This is a field, this will contain a 0. So 0 are present both sides. So let's choose any arbitrary element, which is nothing but F star. This will tell you alpha to the power p power n minus 1 is 1, because 1 is the multiplicative identity. Now this is for non-zero alpha. Suppose if alpha is 0, then you can say alpha to the power p power n minus alpha is 0, because you multiply with alpha in this equation. So this holds for every alpha in F minus 0, also holds for every alpha belongs to F. This holds for both. That means every element in F is a root of this equation, and this is the minimal splitting field. This is the minimal extension, because you cannot construct any extension with less than p power n elements, because this equation has precisely p power n roots. So you cannot construct any such minimal extension. So this is saying this F is the splitting field of of fx. So once it is the splitting field for fx, then we know that a splitting field for a given polynomial are isomorphic up to isomorphism. So this will imply f is isomorphic to this f, and this is the notation we generally use to denote finite fields, and later I will denote this as f p power n. So this the splitting field for this is this capital F, which is I will denote now from fpn, and this is unique up to isomorphism because being a splitting field. Now once it is the splitting field, I have a very nice criteria. I can talk about the Galois group. So what can you say about the Galois group? See, this fpn, which is collection of all say x such that x power p power n minus x barabar 0. Now if someone asks you give me the field with p power n elements, you can give that person to this. You say collect all the roots of this equation, and you are having a field actually which contains a copy of fp as a prime subfield. So this is the finite field with the p power n elements, and this you can construct for any given p for any given n. Now one natural question is there, what can you say about this Galois group? We know this thing, this fp n, this is n degree extension of fp. So if it is n degree extension, then the order of this Galois group will be exactly n. But what can you say about this Galois group, whether it is cyclic or non-cyclic? If it is cyclic, give me some nice criteria. Let's see. This is one criteria, but I will give you many beautiful criterias now. I'll actually prove this Galois group fpn over fp is actually isomorphic to z by nz. That I can prove. Let's say I define this. I define this map from f, which is defined from z by nz to not from here. I define a map from fpn to fpn, and this map you already know. This is a very nice map. From this map, I'll actually give you an element of this group which is of order n. We know that a finite group is cyclic if and only if there is an element whose order is exactly same as the order of group. So I'm going to give you a nice element. Define the sigma p from fpn to fpn. This sigma p send say alpha element to alpha to the power p. This is a Frobenius endomorphism if you remember, but you are defining from same structure to same structure. So this is a Frobenius endomorphism from finite set to finite set. But endomorphism means 1-1 map. So once you have 1-1 map from same set to same set which is finite, that map has to be surjective. So this is a bijection plus this is an isomorphism. So this is an automorphism. So this sigma p is actually a member of automorphism of fp over this is fpn over fp. So this is a member of this, and you observe order of this sigma p is exactly n, because if you see say sigma p, if you operate I times alpha, you will have alpha to the power p power I, because this sigma p operated I times on alpha, it will give you can think in this manner, sigma p I minus 1 alpha to the power p, then again you operate again, you will have sigma alpha to the power p square, then p cube, then at when this I will get vanished, you will have alpha to the power p power I. So this is this, and you are looking for which you are looking for that I for which it fixes every alpha, because you are saying this is at order n elements, this is order n element. So if you operate I times alpha and you are looking for those I when it fix your alpha or when it starts fixing alpha. So suppose it is starting fixa, if it start fixing alpha, so you will have alpha p I alpha is sigma p I times operated alpha giving you alpha to the power p power I, and suppose you are looking for those I for which it sigma p starts fixing alpha, so you are getting alpha to the power p power I is equal to alpha. But this actually says you this I must be exactly n, because if you suppose I is less than n, then this will not be an automorphism, this will not be a bijection, because if I is less than n, then you will have alpha to the power I minus alpha barabar 0 equation. But from here you will get p power I roots, but cardinality of this set is p power n, not p power I. So if I is less than 1, you will have always less elements in this, or you will not have bijection anymore. So this I has to be n at least. So order of this sigma p element is n. That means I have given you a nice element of this automorphism which is n order. So this is cyclic, or I can say every finite cyclic group is isomorphic to Zn. Hence this Galois group is isomorphic to Z by Nz. And which is exactly generated by sigma p, where sigma p is Frobenius automorphism from Fpn to Fpn. So this is a very nice map. Now once you understand this, let me ask you one natural question. What can you say about the subfields of Fpn containing Fp? अभी तक गेट में 2 से 3 बार क्वेश्चन पूछा जा चुका है, नेट में काफ़ी पहले क्वेश्चन पूछा गया था, बट अभी भी चांसेस है क्वेश्चन कभी भी आ सकता है. इजी क्वेश्चन होगा, बहुत जल्दी आप कर लोगे उसको. बट लेट अस सी व्हाट इज द लॉजिक बिहाइंड दिस. नंबर ऑफ सबफील्ड्स ऑफ Fpn containing Fp. Now let's use the logic. The logic is, what are the subfields of a Galois extension, say K over F containing F? The subfields, and we know that every subfield corresponds to a subgroup of a Galois group. That we know that from the fundamental theorem of Galois extension. So suppose this is your Fpn, this is your Fp, and you are looking for the subfields which are subfields of Fpn containing Fp, and that will always contain Fp, because every finite field contains a copy of its prime subfield. So Fp must be a prime subfield. And suppose this is your Galois group, say G. This is your Galois group of Fpn over Fp, and this is an identity element. So you are looking for subgroup H, because for any subfield lying between Fpn and Fp there is a subgroup, or conversely for any subgroup H of G there is a subfield which you say a prime subfield, the fixed field fixed by elements of H, because elements of H are automorphisms. So for any given subgroup you are having a subfield. So there is a one-to-one correspondence between subfields of Fpn containing Fp and subgroups of G. So how many subfields can be there? As many as subgroups are there. And you know that order of this, or the degree of extension, is same as number of elements in H, and number of, or the degree of this extension is the cardinality of this set G by H. That we know that. And once it is Galois, then it is isomorphic to G by H group. But this E by Fp is Galois if and only if H is normal in G. That we have seen from fundamental theorem of Galois extension. So how many subfields can be there? Number of subgroups H in G. How many subgroups are there? see this G is a cyclic group because this G is isomorphic to Z by NZ. So how many subgroups it can have? As many as positive divisors are there. So how many positive divisors of N are there? Precisely tau n divisors. Because we know that for any divisor of N there is a subgroup of G because G is a cyclic group and there is a unique subgroup. So there is a unique subfield. So how many subfields are there? Exactly tau n, which is the divisors of N. So one thing is this. And what can you say about this E by Fp, whether it will be Galois or not? It has to be Galois because since Z by NZ is a cyclic group, that means this is a cyclic group, and in a cyclic group every subgroup is normal in G. If every subgroup is normal in G, then E over Fp has to be Galois. That is again by using fundamental theorem of Galois extension. So this E by Fp has to be Galois. So you can say here for any divisor D of N, there is a subgroup of order D. For any divisor D of N, there is a subgroup of order D, and once there is a subgroup of order D, you can tell me the degree, the cardinality of this E also. What can you say about the cardinality of? See, the degree of extension of E over Fp, it must be cardinality of G by H, but G by H will have cardinality N by D. But this N by D represent the dimension of this E. So dimension of E is N by D. So what can you say about the cardinality of E? It can be P power N by D. So if order of subgroup is D, then the corresponding subfield will have cardinality P power N by D. So as many as positive divisors of N are there, as many as distinct subfields are there, and corresponding cardinality I can tell you. So let's see some one particular example, then you will have more strong feeling about this. Everything is coming from the fundamental theorem of Galois extension. And this, then you can regard your E as a isomorphic field of P N by D, because there is a unique field up to isomorphism for any given order P power N. So this E must be isomorphic to F P power N by D. That is nothing but the collection of all x power P power N by D and minus x, the roots of that equation. So there is a question in GATE examination. Let me remove this also. Number of proper subfields of a field with 4096 elements. So what can you say about this? You look for a smallest prime P which divides this. So 2 is the smallest prime which divides this. So its prime subfield will be F2, the field with 2 elements. So you start with this F2 and you are looking for the proper subfields with this field. So there is a field whose order is some 2 power k, which is nothing but F 4096. So you try to go, because for every divisor of, let's see, you will be like this F2 square, F2 power 4, or rather doing this, let me do in this manner. This 4096, this you can thought as 2 power, see how can you create this 96? You will have 6 into 6 structure. So you can think as 2 power 6 into 2 power 6, because it will give you 64 into 64, then only you will get this 6 in last. So it is 2 power 12. So you look for the divisors of 12, So here you see the cardinality of Galois group of f2 power 12 over f2 will have order 12. So for each subgroup there is a subfield. So possible order of subgroup, and this group is cyclic, we have already seen in the previous explanation. A possible order of subgroup, possible order of corresponding fixed field. Answer you can write directly, the answer you know, that will be tau power 12, so that will be your answer. Possible order of subgroup, so 1 is possible, 2 is possible, 3, 4, 6, 12, these are possible orders of subgroup, but it will give you possible order of corresponding fixed field. If subgroup is identifies every element, so it will be 2 power 12. If 2 is the order of subgroup, then we know that the dimension of E over Fp, which is nothing but 2 power 12 by 2. So it will be 2 power 12 by 2, which is 2 power 6. If 3 is the order of subgroup, then the corresponding subfield will have order 2 power 12 by 3, which is 2 power 4. If 4 is the order of subgroup, then corresponding fixed field will have order 2 power 12 by 4, which is 2 power 3, and this 6 is the dimension, 4 is the dimension, 3 is the dimension. If 6 is the order, then you will have 2 power 12 by 6, which is 2 power 2. If 12 is the order of your subgroup, then possible order of corresponding fixed field will be 2 power 12 by 12, which is 2 power 1. So these are the possible subfields. So you are having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 subfields you are having, and you need to count proper subfield, so you can remove the improper one. This is the improper one, because this and your field both are same, because field is with 2 power 12 elements. So this is the criteria. Now let me ask you another question. What can you say about this? Okay, I'll discuss this later. Let me ask you one more thing. We already know that this Fpn minus 0, that is the collection of all non-zero elements of a field, this forms a cyclic group. This is cyclic group with p power n minus 1 elements. So that we already know from the ring theory, that we have proved. If you take the collection of all units of a field or collection of all units of a finite field, that forms a cyclic group, and it has p power n elements. If you remove 0, you will have p power n minus 1 elements. Still, if you have doubt in this, you should try the proof for this, or you should try more general version, that is the finite subgroup of a group of non-zero elements of a field forms a cyclic subgroup. Let me write this statement. The finite subgroup of non-zero elements of a field forms a cyclic group. So in particular, if you choose your field to be this Fpn, then subgroup you can choose the group itself, then that has to be a cyclic group. So please try to prove these two statements if you are not aware of this, that I have already proven ring theory part. So once you understand this part, that means this Fpn contains an element of order p power n minus 1. So let theta belongs to fpn minus 0 such that order of theta is p power n minus 1. That means theta to the power pn minus 1 will give you 1, because 1 is the multiplicative identity. This will imply theta to the power pn barabar theta. That is satisfying this property. Now suppose I give you this field fp theta. What can you say about this field? This is the smallest field containing fp and theta is a p power n minus 1 order element in a fpn minus 0. So one thing is clear, this theta is a root of this equation. Can I say, or can you tell me the order of this fp theta? This will actually a field. So what can you say about the order of this fp theta? Can I say this is p power n? See how it is p power n. Let's observe. Because this theta is satisfying this equation. A 0 will always be there. See, 0 is always there. If I prove that every root of this equation, say x power p power n minus x, suppose if I prove that every root of this equation is lying inside this structure, then I am done. Then I will be proved. Then I am done that the cardinality of this field will be p power n, because there is a unique field with p power n elements, and that field contains precisely roots of this equation. So you observe this thing. This 0 is already here. Now theta is a generator of this group. So theta can generate any element of this. See, let t be any arbitrary element of this fpn minus 0. Be any arbitrary element. So you can think this is nothing but the collection of all non-zero elements which satisfy this equation, this property. Because fpn minus 0 is nothing but collection of all non-zero elements which satisfy this equation. So you choose any arbitrary element. But this is a cyclic group, so this t can be written as some theta to the power k for some k. But theta is inside this structure, so this will force us t belongs to this fp theta. That means the capital this fpn is contained in fp theta. But theta being a root of this equation, this is inside fpn, and fpn is containing fp containing theta. So this side inclusion is straightforward, because theta is a root of this equation, so theta must be a member of this, because there is a unique field up to isomorphism. So this will force this fpn you have created is actually isomorphic to this fp theta. And what is theta? Theta is the generator of this group. So fp theta is p power n. Now if you know this thing, you also know one more thing. You have proved this fp theta is actually isomorphic to fpn, but we already know this fp theta is isomorphic to the quotient of this fpx by ideal generated by minimal polynomial of theta over fpx. This you already know. And what is the cardinality of this? The cardinality of this is the p to the power degree of this minimal polynomial. But cardinality here, if you compare the cardinality, you are having p power n is same as p to the power degree of minimal polynomial of theta over fpx. How can you write the cardinality? Because if you write this structure or this structure, you are having a0 plus a1 theta plus a2 theta square plus up to a n minus 1 theta to the power n minus 1, where n is the degree of this minimal polynomial. So each ai has p choices. how many AIs you are having? You are having A0, A1 up to AN minus 1. So you are having total n AIs, A0 because it's starting from 0 to n minus 1. So cardinality of that structure, let me write explicitly. See this, this structure is defined as A0 plus A1 theta plus up to A n minus 1 theta to the power n minus 1, where each AI is coming from Fp. And what is this n? This n is the degree of this minimal polynomial. So the cardinality, if you compare, you get p power n, because each AI has p choices. How many AIs you are having? You are having exactly n AIs. So cardinality of this structure will be p power n, or you can say the degree of minimal polynomial is going to be n. That means if theta is a generator of this, or I have proved one more thing here, you note down this thing. This Fpn is a simple field. You know the meaning of simple field. That means this Fpn is a simple extension of capital Fp. That means this Fpn can be generated by adjoining exactly one element to Fp. So this is a simple field. So this I have proved. And this is giving you one more criteria, this equation. Degree of minimal polynomial of theta over Fp field is exactly n. So you are getting this thing, and you are getting this Fpn is a simple extension of Fp. So you do not need to adjoin more than one element. You just adjoin your generator of your cyclic group Fpn minus 0. You are having all the things in your hand. Now once you know this, let me ask you one question, and I will be discussing in the next lecture. Okay, let me give you one intuition before that. Suppose I work with this equation, x power 2 power 2. So here p value is 2, n value is 2 minus x. So I am working on f2x. You give me the factorization of this. See, this is x power 4 minus x, which you can think as this is x minus 1, 1 plus 1 plus x square. And you can feel this x is irreducible over f2, x minus 1 is irreducible over f2, this is irreducible over f2. Also, I can tell you one more thing. Say this is the factorization of this into irreducibles. But suppose if I give you this equation x to the power p power n minus 1, can you always give me the factorization of this into irreducible over Fp field? So whether this is possible always or not. So you have to check that. This is one particular example. You can take this example also. X power 2 power 3 minus x. That will be x power 8 minus x. And this will be x power, say, x into x power 7 minus 1. This will be x into x power x minus 1. This is 1 plus x square plus x cube plus x4 plus x5 plus x power 6. See, this is irreducible over f3. Now you are checking with, okay, not you are checking over f2. This is irreducible over f2 being a linear polynomial. This is irreducible over f2. Whether this is irreducible or not. No, it is not. It is not irreducible. It is reducible. You cannot say it is irreducible. You are not checking over. A Q structure. If you are thinking that this is a cyclotomic polynomial, phi 7, but that is true on Q, not on f2. The finite field head has different properties. So you cannot compare them with the field with characteristic 0. So you cannot relate. I can tell you the factorization. This is x minus 1, this will be 1, or let x cube plus x square plus 1, x cube plus 2x square plus 1. Let me verify and I'll give you the criteria. Actually, this is the fine. Now you can see, and I'll give you the criteria how I am claiming this thing. So this is irreducible over F2, this is irreducible over F2, and these two are irreducible over F2 because F2 is a field. You can check these two are 3-degree polynomials and do not have roots on F2. So these two are irreducible also. So if I give you any polynomial, you can always write into irreducible factors over the field Fp. This is possible. And you observe one more thing. See, this is your n value, this is your p value. You see the degree here, degree is the divisor of n. Here degree is 1, here degree is 1, here degree is 1, here degree is 2. So degree is always divisor of this n. Here you see your n value is this, and here this is 1 degree, 1 degree, 3 degree, 3 degree. So whenever you are writing into irreducibles, your possible factors are of degree n, degree d, where d is a divisor of this n. That is possible. So this is the hint for you to prove. You can always able to write this into irreducibles, where irreducibles will have degree d, where d is a divisor of n. Let me give you one more hint. I will give you detail in the next lecture. How I am claiming. Let Px be any irreducible polynomial in Fp of degree d. Suppose this Fp, this Px be any irreducible polynomial in Fp of degree d, and Px containing, or Px contains a root, say alpha of x to the power p n minus x. Suppose it is containing a root, because if you factorize this, then if factor contains a root, then this polynomial will contain a root. So suppose Px contain a root, say alpha, and the degree of this polynomial is say d. I will actually prove that d divides n. See how? Now you generate this Fpx, and this Fpx is a principal ideal domain. So in a principal ideal domain, ideal generated by irreducible will always give you a maximal ideal, and quotient structure will be a field. So this is a field, and this field with p power d elements. So this will be isomorphic to Fpd. And clearly this is a smaller field than Fpn. So this Fpx quotient with ideal generated by Px, this is a field with p power d elements, and there is a unique field up to isomorphism of p power d elements. So this must be isomorphic to Fpd. But this Fpd is a subfield of Fpn if and only if d divides n. That we already know from the order of subfield in Fpn. So this Fpd is a subfield of Fpn if and only if this d divides n. But this is actually a subfield, hence this d divides n. Why this is a subfield? Can you argument why this is a subfield? Because you are choosing Px be any irreducible polynomial in Fp, and this contains a root of this polynomial. That is why this this structure is a subfield of Fpn, and this is a subfield if and only if this d divides n. So this is all the hint for you to factorize your x power p n minus x. or you can also think in this manner. Suppose you are writing x to the power pn minus x as a p1, p2, pk, where each pi is irreducible over fp. So if it is reducible, you reduce further. So suppose this factorization you can write. So you are able to write this factorization, then this p1 is irreducible, so it will contain some root, and every root of p1 will be a root of this, every root of p2 will be a root of this, so every root of pi will be a root of this. So use this logic also. So this is the explanation. I will give you more deeper explanation in the next lecture. So चलिए आज के लिए इतना ही करते हैं. Thanks for watching this lecture.